Imagine a seemingly ordinary night out, a harmless moment of revelry. Now, picture that moment igniting a firestorm, not of passion, but of chilling control and psychological warfare that rips a family apart. That's the unsettling reality we're diving into today, directly from the pages of Reddit. A father, consumed by an almost pathological aversion to his wife touching a stripper-esque thing, unleashed a torrent of rage and judgment that didn't just end a marriage, but scarred his children for life. This isn't just about a breakup, it's about the insidious ways control, obsession, and psychological abuse can fester, hidden in plain sight, until they erupt with devastating consequences. The unraveling, a web of obsession and fear. The core of this story revolves around a father whose reaction to his wife's actions, a simple, perhaps even accidental, touch escalated beyond all reason. His fury was so profound that it became the linchpin for a complete family breakdown. What could trigger such an extreme response? From a psychological perspective, this father's behavior strongly suggests elements of obsessive-compulsive disorder particularly a form manifesting as extreme contamination or moral scrupulosity. His fixation on the thing implied to be a penis, and the filth associated with it, not only from strippers but even from male restrooms, points to an irrational fear of contamination that extends beyond hygiene into a moral dimension. This isn't just about germs, it's about a perceived spiritual or ethical impurity that he cannot tolerate. His desperate need to cleanse himself and his environment, even demanding his wife burn her clothes, speaks volumes about the depth of this internal struggle. This isn't merely disgust, it's a compulsion driven by overwhelming anxiety. Furthermore, his rigid insistence on specific rituals, showering, burning clothes, new bedding, aligns perfectly with compulsive behaviors designed to alleviate acute distress caused by his obsessions. When these rituals are violated or resisted, the anxiety explodes into rage. The story also hints at narcissistic personality traits. His inability to empathize with his wife's confusion or fear, his immediate and non-negotiable demands, and his absolute conviction in his own righteousness are red flags. He doesn't seek understanding, he demands compliance. This is a classic pattern of narcissistic abuse, where the abuser prioritizes their own rigid needs and beliefs above the well-being and emotional autonomy of others. The gaslighting is subtle but present. His actions effectively tell his wife that her perception of reality, that it was a minor incident, is wrong, and his extreme reaction is the only valid one. The children, particularly the daughter who suffered from misophonia triggered by the father's chewing, are collateral damage in this psychological battlefield. While misophonia is a distinct condition, it is tragically exacerbated by the chaotic and tension-filled home environment. The father's inability to control his anger, his screaming, and the general atmosphere of fear would naturally heighten sensory sensitivities in a child already predisposed to misophonia. This creates a vicious cycle. The father's stress fuels his outbursts, which in turn amplify the daughter's distress, further eroding the family's stability. The climax, a house divided. The turning point isn't just the initial confrontation, it's the father's unyielding stance. Despite his wife's apologies, her attempts to understand, and the obvious distress of their children, he refuses to budge. The ultimatum, burn her clothes, accept his extreme reality, or leave, is the ultimate act of control and emotional blackmail. It has a chilling parallel to cases of coercive control, where one partner systematically erodes the other's autonomy and sense of self. The comments on the original post highlight a crucial point. This wasn't about the stripper. It was a symptom of a deeper, pre-existing psychological issue within the father, manifesting in extreme anxiety and control issues. One user aptly described it, "It has nothing to do with the stripper. It has to do with his insecurities and lack of trust." This echoes the psychological concept of projection, where the father unconsciously projects his own fears and insecurities onto his wife and the external world, seeing contamination where there is none. The aftermath, scars and potential hope. The immediate consequences are devastating. The wife leaves, the children are caught in the crossfire, and the family unit shatters. The long-term impact on the children, particularly the daughter with misophonia, is likely profound. They witnessed a relationship defined by toxic patterns, where one parent's irrationality dictated the family's reality, and the other parent, the mother, was initially codependent or enabling, unwilling or unable to challenge the father's behavior until it became unbearable. This can lead to attachment trauma in children, affecting their future relationships and their sense of safety in the world. However, there is a glimmer of hope. The wife's eventual decision to leave, though painful, represents a crucial step towards liberation from a toxic environment. For the children, living in a household free from constant tension and the father's unpredictable outbursts might offer a chance for healing and developing healthier coping mechanisms. Lessons from the Ashes. A call to understanding this story is a stark reminder of several critical lessons. 1. Recognize the red flags. Extreme, disproportionate reactions to seemingly minor events are often symptoms of deeper psychological issues like anxiety disorders or personality disorders. 2. The insidiousness of control. Coercive control doesn't always involve physical violence. Emotional, psychological, and financial manipulation can be just as destructive. 3. The silent victims. Children are acutely affected by parental conflict and dysfunctional dynamics, even if they aren't directly targeted. Their physical and psychological well-being is often compromised. 4. The importance of boundaries. The wife's journey illustrates the painful but necessary act of setting boundaries and prioritizing one's well-being, even when it means dismantling a life as it was known. While we can't definitively diagnose anyone from an online post, the patterns of behavior described here align with serious psychological concerns that require professional intervention. The father's intense reaction suggests a profound internal struggle that, left unaddressed, will continue to cause immense suffering to himself and those around him. Have you ever witnessed or experienced an extreme reaction to a seemingly minor event that spiraled out of control? How did you navigate it? And what lessons did you learn about boundaries and emotional health? Share your experiences in the comments below.